At last the great day came. The Father takes his place upon his great white throne, while his Son sits at his right hand. Their glory is indescribable. About the throne is a dazzling rainbow, and in the firmament above the throne is the appearance of many precious stones reflecting the fire-like brightness that radiates from the Father and the Son. That majestic, noble-looking, commanding angel standing in the presence of the Creator is Lucifer, the day star, son of the morning. Next to Christ, he is the most honored of God, holding the highest position of power and glory among the angels. The plan of God is made known. A chorus of rejoicing and praise bursts forth from 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of angel voices. But in the heart of Lucifer, a strange spirit is felt. For a long time he had been jealous of Christ. Little by little, he had indulged the desire to occupy the highest position. His heart was lifted up because of his beauty. Little by little, his feeling of jealousy had increased. Why was not I chosen to represent God, creating this new and beautiful world, he thought. Why should not I thus be honored? Am I not as wise and as beautiful as Christ? Why should he have the supremacy? God read the secret thoughts of Lucifer's heart. He knew that if this spirit were communicated to the other angels, the result would be ruin to Lucifer and to all who might sympathize with him. The course that Lucifer was taking caused great sorrow to the loving heart of God. What should he do to prevent, if possible, the oncoming disaster? There is one thing that God cannot or will not do. He will not compel anyone to serve him, but he would place before every angel the exact facts of the case, so that in the struggle which seemed inevitable, they might not be deceived. Before the great contest had time to develop, the King of the universe summoned the heavenly host before him, that in their presence he might set forth the true position of his Son and show the relation he sustained to all created beings. He carefully explained to them the work of Jesus as Creator. He reminded them that the Son of God had wrought the Father's will in the creation of all the hosts of heaven, and to him, as well as to God, their homage and allegiance were due. He told them that in the creation of the new world, his Son should be associated with him as he had been when they were created. He further explained that this creation was not for the purpose of exalting himself, but as another expression of his beneficence and love. When he had thus set the matter before them, the angels, with hearts full of loyal gratitude, poured out their love and adoration. Lucifer bowed with them, but in his heart there was a strange, fierce conflict. Truth, justice, and loyalty were struggling against envy and jealousy. The influence of the holy angels seemed for a time to carry him with them, as songs of praise ascended in melodious strains, swelled by thousands of glad voices. The spirit of evil seemed vanquished. Unutterable love thrilled his entire being. His soul went out in harmony with the sinless worshipers, in love to the Father and the Son. But again he was filled with pride in his own glory. His desire for supremacy returned, and envy of Christ was once more indulged. Perhaps God would have chosen Lucifer in the work of creation if Lucifer had been capable of such a work, and if such a thing had been possible. Jesus would gladly have given him the honor. But no created being can himself create. God only can create. Jesus can create because he is equal with God. As the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself. But although Lucifer held the highest place in heaven next to Jesus, although he was full of wisdom and perfect in beauty, although he was the covering cherub, yet he could not create, for he himself had been created, and in him was not the fountain of life. For him to attempt such an impossibility would mean only disaster to himself and others. More than this, The one who is creator must unselfishly love those whom he creates. No personal ambition can possibly actuate him. The highest good and happiness of his subjects will be his chief aim, his constant thought his only pleasure. He will be not only their Lord and Master, but their humble servant. He will so love them that if need be, he would even die for them. Was Lucifer willing to be all this? Ah, no. Lucifer was seeking his own selfish purposes. He desired to exalt himself. He had an entirely false conception of a great ruler, for he thought that a ruler was to be served rather than to serve.